So you drag the panel, you put it in the matching T right next to it. And then we go to the first T on this one. Of course, we'd actually be gluing this if we're going for full install. We're doing this because we're going to take it apart and send it. So this is for demonstration purposes. But you would just make that glue, and that glue joins. And that's it. And we do the same thing with all the panels now and keep going. So here we have 4 of the units on. That's 8 tons, and they're all separated. It's all going to get strengthened once we put the top pieces on top. Here we have the option for 1 more unit, but this shows how you can make it up to 5 units for 10 tons of underwater power. Okay, now we put just the top headers on, and we just match the header that's below it. It's identical top and bottom, so it's just following the same pattern and matching the bottom. And again, all this would be glued. It actually makes it a little easier when it's glued, because then those pieces don't pop up like that. Once you have it glued in place, you can just keep pushing it together. As you can see, as you go down the line, there's enough give in the PVC to be able to just push the next piece into its place and then pound it in. Again, this all gets easier once it's glued, but you can see how it goes together. Now we put the next piece matching the bottom piece. This one only has 1 pipe per connection, so it's even easier than the side header. So here we show that we have the 2 outside pieces that match on the 2 ends. That will match that one. Then we have the inside pieces that will also match, and the middle piece that has the T on the end. It's the only one with a T on the end. That goes right in the middle. Alright, so here we have the rack almost finished. We just have to put the top and bottom pieces on with the fillers here, and we'll be done with it. It's estimated that the whole process for the first time will take approximately 1.5 hours, and second time should be less than an hour with gluing and assembly. So now we're just filling in the holes here to line up the top and bottom pieces. We have 2 here on the top. These are the 17-inch pieces. And then we have the same 90 and the T, and everything clicks together. Again, with glue, you're doing final assembly. Also, it's recommended, if you can find a flat surface, it's better. Here we're working on an uneven surface intentionally to show that it can be done. But obviously a flat surface is always better. Makes it a little easier. You don't have to pull the parts together at all. And then we do the same thing on the bottom over here, where we put the 3 filler pieces, 2 short ones on the end. And you can tell just because of the distance, you see where it lines up. You just look at it sideways. We put in the middle one, we have to have the T that connects the crossbars, and the final small piece on the end. And again, the 90s for our 4 corners. And here are the 2 T's. Finally, the last piece. And the whole thing's put together. Now the only other option is to put zip ties connected to spacer bars right here in order to lift this portion of the panel up. We'll do that to show how it can be put together that way. It's not necessary for the integrity, but it looks nice. So here are the zip ties. We put an extra spacer bar right near the middle of the panel so that then we can zip tie it right to the top header. Once glued, the whole rack can be moved by 2 people and floated out to the location of choice. And once the units are filled with the heat exchange fluid, then they will sink to the bottom. Sometimes some assistance might be necessary with a cinder block or another weighted form that could just be connected to the rack itself.